Wrath of Nkai is a full-length novella set in the 1920s Lovecraft-inspired Arkham Files game universe, curated by Fantasy Flight Games. It is written by Josh Reynolds and published by Aconyte Books. Aconyte Books is the new dedicated publishing arm of Asmodee Entertainment, looking to squeeze out as much fiction from as many of their intellectual properties as possible. It now looks like they aim to be the one-shop stop for gaming fiction in general, having partnered with Ubisoft to release tie-ins to the Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed computer games.
Josh Reynolds is the author of over 30 novels and numerous short stories, including the wildly popular Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000. He grew up in South Carolina and now lives in Sheffield, UK.
Is literally everything it says about him on the Aconyte website, so if you want to know more, he has his own site, which won't really tell you anything other than he owns pets, so you could stalk him on the usual Facebook and Twitter and whatever the hell that is. Or read his blog if you like. One thing for sure is he is certainly prolific. Look at all those novels, and audio dramas, and games, and even short stories that this guy has written. Like, literally, this page goes on for days, if not weeks. Blinkin' heck, he's even written Sherlock Holmes stories, which is a bit presumptuous, but presumably Doyle was writing his superior historical fiction series at the time. He has been best known for his Warhammer fiction, both sci-fi and fantasy. This is Reynolds' first foray into writing for the Arkham Files universe, which can be a double-edged sword, but you'll be pleased to know he has at least played the board game. No, not that one, the older one. No, not that one either, the one in the middle. Although the details on the Aconyte website are sparse, what they have done is link to other people who have interviewed him. And as Wrath is his first book with Aconyte, much of these discussions focus around Arkham Horror. The author news section gives you a hint of future books they are working on if you decide you like their style. And the reviews section is if you want to hear what the critics think of the book. They may look like mini marketing taglines, but you can click through to a full article. And hidden amongst the well-known sites are popular gaming peeps, like the Great Old Ones and Strange Assembly. What up, Chris? Alright, brace yourselves, viewers, as the cupboard is bare. Okay, so for anyone not coming to this video from the tabletop gaming route, but maybe stumbled across it because you're looking for some Cthulhu Mythos type fiction, Fantasy Flight Games published a series of hardback novellas focusing on characters from their games, and included promo cards to twist your arm, or rather wallet. These also had fabulous colour pictures in, which is another thing you won't find at the back of these books. This does make them slightly cheaper, admittedly not a great deal cheaper, but what you do get is an awful lot more words. 336 pages worth, in fact, as opposed to about 110, which is roughly 3 times as much, right? Don't forget, Fantasy Flight Games were publishing traditional paperback novels for years before they came up with the idea of hardbacks and replacement investigators. One thing you'll be pleased to know hasn't changed is there are adverts at the back. First up for the FFG games that started it all, then the next Arkham Horror novel. So confident are they that this will be a success they didn't wait to commission several. You can find more details on the Arkham Horror section of the Aconyte website. Then some non-Arkham books from the Legend of the Five Rings and Keyforge universes. Let us know in the comments down below if you want us to show you some of those too. And finally an advert for Aconyte themselves. This appears to be in the traditional paperback size and format, with cover art that does look a lot more basic than what you may be used to, harking back to the early days of Arkham Horror. They are definitely looking to tie in with the games, as the 3rd edition logo is very prominent. It is also on the spine in non-logo form and in text on the rear together with the Fantasy Flight Games logo. Again, they mention this is the first in the series based on the Arkham Horror games and use the word spine-chilling. A bold claim, not to be taken lightly, as we would expect these books to be more pulpy and action-based rather than full-on Stephen King. And well spotted, viewer, that is spine-chilling without a hyphen, letting you know what a bunch of futuristic mavericks those Acolyte folks are, no doubt causing Dr. Johnson to turn in his grave. Back to the front we have a quote from Starburst, high quality pulp fantasy action, which we didn't see in the review section of the website. That seems unusual. Guess we'd better call in a professional.
The name's Diamond. Joe Diamond. And I'm a dick. A private dick, see? I don't just dick around for anyone. I heard about a case. A quote had gone missing, and some fellows are paying big YouTube monies for any leads. So, after checking out the neighborhood, I decided to go right to the source. I searched and searched, but even after exhausting plenty of choice phrases, I kept coming up empty.
Well, he was useless, wasn't he? Maybe we should have asked Roland. Or maybe not. The reason you won't find it in the review section for this book is that it isn't even about this book. Welcome to the murky world of publishing. It is one of 3 quotes about Mr. Reynolds' other books, although they won't tell you which. Maybe it is one of the others over the page. Obviously, it is hard to obtain review quotes for a book you haven't published yet, but it is possible. Fingers crossed with their next title, we will see more relevant testimony. Sticking with the cover, this is a thin cardboard with matte printing and a waxed coating, so it should resist finger marks to some degree as well as surviving a brief spill, splash or shower. Unlike the pages within, which are that highly absorbent old newspaper stock that people used before toilet paper. And we hope you are sitting down as this will blow your mind. Check this out! Even though this doesn't have a separate dust jacket, they have added a front flap and also a rear flap to the paperback cover. How often do you see things like these on a mass market paperback? If you look along the foredge here, the front turn is extended from the text block, creating what is called a case margin, which you don't see on paperbacks, only on hardbacks. This is called a French flap or a gatefold. You know, the only reason we play this game is because it has tomes in it, right? We're here for the books, not the occult. Anyway, this overlap doesn't appear at the top or bottom edge, as the soft cover wouldn't be able to support the weight of the book when vertical. But by including such an extension, you make the cover edge and the foredge pages much more protected. And you can fold over the front or back flap to use as a temporary bookmark, thus not contributing to the epidemic of missing Lita Chandlers. Printed on the front flap is the blurb from the back of the book, and on the rear flap is the author's bio and a reminder of the next book in the series. The rest of the inside cover is plain white. Skipping past all the references to other books, you have a title page, a legal page you find in most books, and a dedication, which may be from the author, or could be that the printer's nephew snuck it in, we have no idea. Then there is a 4 and a bit page prologue before chapter 1. There are 35 chapters in total, as well as a 2-page epilogue before the adverts at the back. Each of the chapters is named, mostly with single-word titles, but there is no table of contents for them. And at 35, these are short chapters, so if you do your reading in the privacy of the smallest room, you may be able to squeeze out a chapter in a single sitting, if you get our drift. Clearly you came in late and missed the text at the beginning of this here film. Only you can decide that, but to help you do so, Aconyte have given you a free sample on their website. On the book page, not the author page, scroll down and click the Read an Excerpt link. And this will provide you with access to 28 pages, which is the prologue and the first 2 chapters. You don't need to sign in or anything. Pro tip! If you want more, then go to the Amazon page and click on the cover picture where it says Read More. This will open up the prologue, all of chapters 1 to 4, and a little of chapter 5. If you switch over to the print book tab at the top, you can read the epilogue, which is stupid as this may spoil the ending for you, so don't do that. You can even have a sample sent directly to your Kindle if you have one of those. Well, it's a bit cheesy, so brace yourself. If you go to the Aconyte YouTube channel, yes, everyone has a YouTube channel, you will find a reading of the opening section. They have certainly gone to a lot of trouble, if not a lot of expense. It has that student film vibe, but it's free, damn it! If you do want a more professional reading, then they have an audiobook version on the way. But the production of these has been delayed by the current health situation, so we don't have any concrete details for you. Sorry about that. No, we don't do spoilers either. Where's the fun in that? We will say that the lead character is entirely original, created for this story and not someone ported over from the FFG or Lovecraft canon. That's not to say you won't visit any familiar locations or see any friendly faces, as it does start off in Arkham. No, that's not a spoiler, it literally tells you this on the back. The Nkai in question is definitely part of the Cthulhu mythos appearing in the Mound, completed in 1930 and published posthumously by August Derleth in a substantially edited form in Weird Tales magazine, November 1940. To give it its full name, the Black Realm of Nkai is located beneath the red-litten world of Yoth, which may sound familiar to some of you. If you are looking for a book like this in a different language, Aconyte partners with local publishers such as 404 Publishing in France and Cross Cult in Germany, so you may find a translation for you in the future. Before we go, we just want to say that if you have a significant other who finds your silly little board games overly complex, but they like to read, this may help them appreciate your hobby a little more. So consider this as a gift this holiday season, which you can read yourself before regifting, obviously. Thanks for watching, everyone. We have a whole playlist of books for you to check out, not to mention accessories, unboxings, rules tutorials, and more.